doing? It's your boy Brogi Naric back again with another episode of TV Aftermath. And in this episode, I'm going to be giving my review of the Season 2 premiere of The Mandalorian, Episode 1, Chapter 9, The Marshal, which recently dropped on Disney+. But before I get into this video, don't forget to give this video a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. We're still growing, and thanks for doing that. So, The Mandalorian came out the end of 2019, and I actually finished the first season earlier this year, and was happy that the second season was coming out later this year. Love the first season, really good. It's basically space western. That's the best way I can describe it. You have this guy named the Mandalorian who's protecting this child, baby Yoda, and he's drawn to it. And his goal this season is getting baby Yoda to his people, and he might have to come in contact with the Jedis, which are very ancient, not many of them are left. So that's his main goal this season. So the episode starts off with Mandalorian, who is played by Pedro Pascal. He's on this planet. He's going to meet this guy named Gor Koresh, who's he's this guy that knows how to track down Mandalorians. So the Mandalorian's like, hey, I need to track down my own people because they have information, and there's a certain network that they work through, and he's like, maybe through them I can get more information on Baby Yoda's people. And they meet up at this shady gladiatorial boxing match thing going on. There's these two those pit guards that Jabba the Hutt had. It's like two of them fighting, and the guy wants to make a deal. Mando's like, I don't want to, gamble. Just I'll pay you for the information. And the guy basically double crosses him because the reason he knows how to get in contact with Mandalorians is because he tricks them and steals their armor and sells their armor. That's their best scar armor. That's what he wants to do with Mandalorian. So he takes care of them. He uses the little whistling birds, the little mini rockets, takes some of them out. Has a good action sequence. And like this show is very similar to Clone Wars, where it strives a good balance of child-friendly, but also the action is still kind of brutal and serious. So they do show him like stabbing the guy, no blood or anything like that, but it's there. It's brutal, but not too bad because it's still kind of kid-friendly at the same time. It's an interesting balance that the show walks. Takes out those guys. The guy tries to run away, catches them, ties them up upside down, and threatens to kill them. And he tells them, okay, I know of a Mandalorian that's somewhere on Tatooine. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to Tatooine. And it was a cool scene. The guy's still hanging upside down, and he shoots out the light. Apparently, there's like these creatures around that are repelled by light. So once the light goes out, he leaves the guy there to get eaten by those creatures. So I thought it was kind of badass. He's like, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna leave you to die. So he goes back to Tatooine, which I'm done with Tatooine. I don't know, Star Wars loves Tatooine. I just don't care anymore. So Mando and the child return to Tatooine, where he meets back up with Peli Malto, who was played by Amy Sedaris, who was that mechanic lady that helped him out last season. So she gives him some information about Mos Pelgo, which is an old rundown mining town within Tatooine, and that's where that Mandalorian person might be. So he travels to the old mining town, and I like there was a moment where there was like a hip hop Mandalorian theme kind of playing. It was kind of cool. So he gets to the town, talks to the bartender. He's like, hey, I'm looking for Mandalorian. The guy's like, I don't know what that is. He's like, I'm looking for someone who looks like me. He's like, oh, you must be talking about the Marshal. So as he says that, the Marshal is standing there, and you see him, and it's this guy who's wearing, it looks like old Boba Fett armor, and he walks in, and he's like, all right, let's have a talk. He takes off his helmet, and you see it's this guy the Marshal's played by Timothy Olyphant, and his name is Cobb Vanth. And Mando is like, wait a second, you're not a real Mandalorian. We don't take off our helmets all willy-nilly. It's very sacred. They only take their helmets off sparingly and in private and stuff like that. So he's like, okay, who the hell are you? That's not your armor. And he's like, yeah, chill out. I want to explain, but Mando doesn't want to hear it. They're about to have a shootout, and before they can have the shootout, they're interrupted by an earthquake. Now, I thought it was initially it was either a giant sandworm or maybe some stampede. It's a giant sandworm. comes through, kind of wrecks the town a little bit, and goes away. So Cobb Vanth is like, hey, I used this armor to protect the town, especially from like raiders and also from that thing, and I need it. And Mando's like, I don't want to hear it. I want it. So he's like, all right, well, let's make a deal. If you help me kill the Carath, it's called the Carath Dragon. If you help me kill it, and we survive, you can take the armor back to your people. You know, I like that he wasn't a dick about it, because the Mandalorian is very simple. So there's a moment where I was like, maybe he's kind of screwing him over, but then I was like, nah, he's not. He's probably just pretty honest. So they go on a journey to track the dragon back to its cave, and on that journey, he explains the story. He talks about how the mining town used to be a little more prosperous. Just a little bit better, and he was talking about when the Empire, the Death Star destroyed the second time. That was when the Empire had left the occupation of Tatooine, but as the Empire was leaving, the town was then taken over by this group called the Mining Collective. So I'm assuming that's the company they were mining for. They take him over oppressively. So he escapes, he survives. In his escape, he steals this container, and he's walking through the desert, no food or anything. He comes across these Jawas in the container with these crystals. I believe they were dilithium crystals. It was dilithium crystals. No, I know that's Star Trek. But anyway, he has some crystals, very valuable. So he trades the crystals for this old Mandalorian armor that they had. Turns out it's Boba Fett's old Mandalorian armor. It's like, the helmet, chest, rocket, I guess like flamethrowers and stuff. So he goes back, gets rid of the Mining Collective, and he becomes the marshal of the town. And from then on, he's like, their hero sheriff. And so that's his story. And also, I like that his speeder that he was on was like a single engine from the pod racer that Anakin had back in Phantom Menace 1. It's not the exact same engine, but it's the same design. I thought that was kind of cool. Nice little shout out for that. And so they come across these creatures, but they're dog-like aliens of the Tusken Raiders. Of course, Mandalorian can speak Tusken Raiders, so they make a uneasy team. They're like, the Tusken Raiders are like, hey, let's work together to get this creature, because we've been trying to kill this thing for generations. So, and it's uneasy because the chief doesn't like the marshal doesn't like him because they attack the town. The Tuskens don't like him because he's killed some of their people, but they make an uneasy truce, and they eventually Mandalorians it's like, hey, we're gonna need some more people, and I volunteered your village to help them. So they gotta go back to the town and convince the people that, hey, we gotta work with the Tusken Raiders. It's a very simple story. It's like settlers have to team up with natives to fight a wild bear that's attacking everybody, or a wild pack of wolves that's attacking everybody. That's kind of the basis of the story. So he convinces the people, they come together, and they have this awesome moment where the dragon is asleep, so they have to wake it up. It's like 3 Tusken Raiders just yelling, and it comes out, and then they're like shooting at it. They got these like harpoon things, they're trying to pull it out, because that was the thing, Cobb, the marshal, he thought it was a lot smaller, but when they were making the plan, and the Tusken Raiders had this little diagram, it was a lot bigger than what he was expecting. So the plan was they buried all these explosives under the ground. It's like the cave, the monster comes out, and there's like bombs underneath it, so they had to pull it, try to get it out of the cave as far as they could, and then set off the bombs. So they're fighting with it, and it finally comes out a little bit further, they detonate it, and it buries back underground, and they're like, I don't think it's dead. And they're waiting, and then it pops out it was like at a cave, but then there's like a big mountain, and it pops out at the top of the mountain, and it starts like vomiting acid on everyone, because they did that earlier, but it's like this stomach acid, it's like very acidic, so it's like taking out more people. And I like that cool shot where Cobb and Mando get their guns, and he puts his helmet back on, and they like fly up there to like start shooting at it. That was a cool little sequence. So they start shooting at it, then it goes back down on the ground. They come back down on the ground, they're still shooting at it, and they're like, Mando comes up with an idea. He sees this one bantha that's like still carrying all the explosives. So he tells the marshal, like, hey, you're gonna have to watch the kid. And he like breaks his rocket, so he like flies out of the way, and he tricks the dragon to swallow him and the bantha with the explosives. So it swallows him, and then he flies out of it. He uses a little taser on his gun, flies out, detonates it, kills the dragon, and everyone's happy. Dragon explodes. The Sand People, part of the deal was working together. The deal was they get to keep the carcass, and also there was something inside of it that they wanted. It was like some weird, like big pearl looking thing. And then also it was like, if we do that, we'll leave the town alone. And the only thing that can break it is if the townspeople break it. So there's like peace. Mando retrieves the armor. He pieces out, and in the distance, as he's riding away into the sunset, old man Boba Fett is on the hill looking at him, and he just walks away. So that was the little, cliffhanger for the end of the premiere. Nothing too big, but it felt like The Mandalorian. It's like, here's a Western story in space, and it leads with an ongoing, overarching storyline. So it was good. Timothy Olyphant was cool. I like Cobb Vanth. It's funny how this series just keeps dropping in these random new characters, and they're all pretty awesome. We just see them for like an episode, and they're pretty awesome, as opposed to the Disney trilogy where they had like 3 movies and couldn't make any of those characters that awesome. It's kind of weird how that happens, but I like Cobb, and hopefully we'll get to see him later on in the season. I got a feeling we will. The acting's good. The effects are great. I still love the use of practical and CGI. They do a very good blend of that, especially with the Gore Koresh guy and his aliens. You can tell they were practical, but there was also some CGI there. I like that stuff. It looks really good. So if I would grade this, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't anything too spectacular, but it wasn't bad at all. He was on great episodes, so that's great this season. So I don't think I might review each episode weekly. My work schedule's gonna get a little crazy as we get close into the holidays, so there might be some weeks I miss and just do 2 episodes of one video. But I'm gonna try it out. I don't prefer doing that because, like I said, I don't really have the time to do it. But I'm gonna try it out. But that's my thoughts and review of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, Chapter 9, The Marshal. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments. And don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.